Hello everybody, my name is Julia, and today I'm going to talk about all of our favourite new art house, indie, arto film. And the film is called Shiva Baby, which I saw all over Twitter. It was like all over my Twitter timeline. Is that what it's called? All these film sites were tweeting about it, so I was very intrigued. And I watched the trailer and I was like, yes, fantastic. And so I watched it. Don't know why you needed that backstory, but I watched it on Mubi, which is this kind of more international arty type streaming platform. I loved every minute of it, and today I want to tell you why and recommend it to you. Shiva Baby is a 2020 comedy film created by Emma Seligman. The film follows the main character Danielle, who is a young bisexual woman who attends a Shiva with her family. And for all you uneducated people like me out there in the world who have to Google what a Shiva is because they grew up in a very Catholic area of the world. Shiva is the week-long mourning period in Judaism for first-degree relatives. The ritual is referred to as sitting Shiva in English. So it's kind of like a tradition when someone has died, where you all kind of meet up and spend the time together and mourn the loss and comfort each other. And the events of the film itself almost completely take place in one setting and during one time period. So it's all in one day at one setting. It's someone's house. And it's all about this young woman, Danielle, who's kind of lost in life. She doesn't know what she wants to do. She doesn't know what career she wants. She's kind of lost romantically. And so during the Shiva, she has this whole community around her, all these people who want to know about her life. So they're very interested in her career prospects, her romantic life, her friendships, what is she up to, what is she eating, that kind of thing. And we follow Danielle during the Shiva and her interactions with people. Now I'm going to explain the plot a bit more specifically, but if you want to go into it with absolutely no spoilers, then I guess stop watching, but also keep watching, because then I'd be sad if you stopped. Anyway, I guess watch this video when you've seen it. So we see Danielle attend the Shiva with her parents, and the people at the Shiva are like their close community, so it's a lot of relatives, a lot of close family friends. And during this time, Danielle is introduced to a man called Max, where her parents say he can help you career-wise, maybe he can give you an internship, maybe he knows some people. But when Danielle meets this man, Max, she realizes he's her sugar daddy. And Danielle didn't know that he was in her community. He didn't know that Danielle was in the community. And it's kind of an odd dynamic because she's a lot younger and everyone treats her as a child, but he's like an adult to them. So that's really awkward. And then during these conversations, which are very awkward between everyone, Danielle learns that Max, her sugar daddy, is married. So now Danielle not only has to face the fact that her sugar daddy is known to her parents and everyone in her community, but he's also married. She's sleeping with a married man. Then to make the story even more interesting, her ex-girlfriend Maya is there, and they're like childhood friends who got together during school times and broke up. We don't know why, but there's kind of something still there between them. And so we see those two interact, and we see Maya, the ex-girlfriend, kind of watching Danielle and wondering why she's acting so weird. But we know why Danielle's acting so weird, because her sugar daddy's at the event. Why I love this film so much. First of all, the main character, Danielle, who's played by Rachel Sennott, was incredible. She's so interesting, so complex. It was like a joy to get to watch her throughout the film, because we as an audience followed Danielle for the whole film. Every little expression or every movement in her face already told us so much. Throughout the film, we see her kind of lose control and get more desperate and more panicky and nervous, and just her face alone conveys all of it. It's incredible. It's so fascinating to watch and so much fun. You would think it could get boring if it's just the same house focused on the same person for 1.5 hours, but it's not. She does it so well that you just want to keep watching her. And the more stressed Danielle got, the more stressed you as a viewer got. So the whole film felt like a very slow, panic attack, which doesn't sound like fun, but I swear it's fun. The longer it goes on, the more kind of animated people around her get and the more stressed Danielle gets. And you see her kind of lose control and panic, and you see it in her face, and the music gets more intense and everything around her gets more chaotic, and there's drama and the suspense, and you just feel like, oh my god, what's she gonna do? How's this gonna be resolved? It's very stressful, but so well done. It almost feels claustrophobic because you're in this house with all these people and everyone kind of wants to talk to her and be like, how are you doing? So people like grab her and want to be all up in her business, and she never has time to just be by herself and breathe. So yeah, it is a bit like a panic attack. Another great thing about the film were the side characters. So Danielle's parents, Maya, the ex-girlfriend, and then you have Max, the sugar daddy, and his wife. And everyone was so fascinating and so funny as well. But my highlight were all the women at the Shiva, because they would so openly gossip. Everyone was just standing around gossiping, very realistic. The more stressed Danielle got, the louder the gossiping got, and the more people were like, is Danielle okay? What's happening? She's been weird recently. It felt very realistic and very much like family gathering vibes. But I also liked that it showed how much the women in this community care about each other. Because the reason they're gossiping, it's not evil, it's not malicious. They're gossiping to know more about each other and to know what's happening in each other's lives and to openly worry and wonder about specific women in this community. Of course, that can go so wrong and can be very annoying if it's kind of directed at you and you don't want to hear it. But often you'd have these women ask Danielle's mum if she's okay. She looks quite thin. Is she eating enough? How's her job going? And Danielle's mum being like, yeah, we're worried about her. And it just showed that they all deeply care for Danielle and want her to succeed. Another thing I loved was that the soundtrack was so intense. It felt like a horror movie. The whole film itself felt like you were watching a play because it was one setting with a set group of people and they're interacting with each other. And the storyline plays out between different interactions. And then the soundtrack was like this aggressive violin, and it was intense and it was creepy, and everything added up to this stressful kind of feeling. In the end, the film was just so sweet because, of course, Danielle is overwhelmed and she's in a horrible situation, but you kind of learn to love all the people in the film and learn to see that they really, really care for Danielle as well and they want her to succeed. And it was really sweet. And there's this moment in the end in the car. I won't say any spoilers, but it's a moment between Danielle and Maya, and it's so sweet, and it shows you about gestures and kindness in complicated situations, and it was so nice. I don't know if that made sense, but I just thought it was a really sweet film. The cast was so lovable, and it was stressful, and you could feel with Danielle, and everyone was kind of crazy, but in a fun way. And I was just fascinated when watching it. I had a great time, and I was very stressed because of Danielle's situation, but I also wanted to know what happens. And it was very kind of human, and it was all about community and human interaction and how we love each other and support each other, even if it's fucked up in some ways. And I just had a great time watching it. So this was my review of the film Shiva Baby. If you've seen it, I'd love to hear about it. If you haven't, would you like to watch it? That sounds like I can give it to you. I can't, I'm afraid. But maybe you can see it in some kind of art house cinema near you. And if not, maybe it'll be on you can buy it somewhere at some point to stream. I really recommend it. It's a good time and it's really funny, very heartwarming, very stressful. I loved it. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I make videos about films and books and TV shows and have a great time. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day. Bye.